Guys, thanks for showing up. That's nice, isn't it? Oh, look. I just did that for you, Mike. Yeah. Perfect. So glad everybody showed up. I know a lot of people think, what is Google Business Page? And then what does that do? And can I do it? Is it something that's easy to set up? So we thought, and I think Lynn was talking to Katie, and Katie said, hey, I can help with that. And she brought Emily, who's been here before, who knows a lot of different stuff about that. So we thought this would be great. We could have Katie over here, and everybody's got their computers and stuff. And I think we'll just turn it over to you guys, and you can lead us through the way of the whole Google Business Page stuff.
Perfect.
So thanks for coming.
Okay. Thanks for having us.
It's here.
All right. So do you want to mute yours so that we don't
Yes,
have
I do. So we don't do the crazy feedback stuff. Okay. And we got Jose. Somebody like Jose on there? Okay. Well,
So, oh, no, I'm still going to echo.
wow.
Huh?
You're muted.
Okay. No, that's not going to work. Thank you. All right. So, but
It's $50.
hopefully everybody, Mary, if Mary's, oh, Mary stepped away. I was going to say, oh, Jose, can you hear me okay?
I sure can. Can you guys hear me okay?
Perfect. Okay. All right. So here's the flow of the morning. All right. Because as Brett said, Lynn and I did talk about Google Business Page. We're going to start off. I'm going to show a couple slides. I'm going to walk through some of the setup process. Okay. But there are so many variables to setting up your Google Business Page that what Emily and I kind of talked about is I'm going to do that. Okay. Then we're going to kind of flip it over to Emily. She's going to talk to a little bit more of what Brett was saying, how your Google Business Page can work for you, and just with digital marketing, building your brand online, all that together. And then at the end, we will stick around so that if people actually want to try to finish the step-by-step process of setting up their Google page, we can help you with that. Now, the other thing that we will, I don't know, Emily might touch on this a little bit too, though, is that, you know, it is pretty simple to set up your Google Business Page, right? But you have to have a plan what you're going to do from there with it and how you're going to, you know, you may need to set up calendar reminders, or, you know, it's got to be a regular thing to make sure it's updated. If you're going to have customer reviews on there and engage with customers on there, what's your plan for that? So just for example, USA Mortgage, we don't even manage our own Google Business Page. We put that out to a third party because it is something that if you're wanting to do it, which it is important to do it, and we'll talk about that too, that you make a plan on how you're going to manage it and keep that engagement going so that you do get the benefits from it, right? I mean, yes, somebody can go and find you on there, but how are you going to make it work for your business and help grow your business and build your brand online? So with that, hopefully,
two people in the waiting.
oh, waiting.
Yeah, sorry.
That's- I don't think I can let them in. All right, so I'm going to attempt to share my screen here. And let's see here. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right, so up front, let me put that into slideshow mode for you. All right, so here is just really pulled. I can send this to everybody, the steps to setting up your Google Business Page. I'm going to run through these on the screen in a minute, but just to kind of talk about it real quick. So we're going to go to google.com/business. But here's my question. Very first question. How many people have a Google account already? Okay, awesome. So if you don't know if you have a Google account, that's why we're going to stay after and help you at the end too. So you do need to have a Google account set up in order to set up your Google Business Page. But that is we can help you with that. Again, that's very simple. And then it says there, sign in with your Google account or create a new one if you don't already have one. So we can do that. Enter the name of your real estate business, select a category that best describes your business, etc. There are some tips on the Google site, and I can run through some of those pages too. There's a ton of resources and information so that if later you wanted to go back through on your own and kind of check that out, you can. You guys do have a physical address, so that will be okay. Because if you don't have a physical address, you can like set up a service area that you want to cover, but you guys have an address here. Now, the only other caveat to that is I guess we will need to, Lynn, I don't know if you want to have some kind of office policy, because I don't think that they can go in, they can't just go in and say that they want to use this business as their business. They'd have to request access from you, etc. So you may want to have it where everybody kind of sets it up the same. Is it their name, comma, realtor at this address, that sort of thing? I don't know. I didn't really research that. Okay. I think some people here already might have, at least they're connected to the address via Google. And then you can add all your other information. I won't talk about that too much. You do have to verify your business. So when we go through the setup process, that's why I was saying it might be good to we're talking about it here. I'll demo a little bit, then we'll kind of talk about some big picture stuff, and then we'll come around, and if everybody wants to actually try it here today, we'll get started and get you going with the process, because you do have to verify your business. They'll send a verification code before you can continue. So at the bottom, I put some little stars there. Before you can engage with potential customers, you have to make sure your profile is set up and verified on Google. Customers can only find you after you complete that verification process. So you got to make sure that your account is verified. All right. And then finally, you'll publish your Google business page and people will be able to find you, etc. So I think Emily's going to touch more on this too. So again, I don't need to read every single thing here. I'll send it to you guys. But having a Google business page can be highly beneficial for a realtor. Here's why: increase visibility, establish credibility, build brand awareness, collect reviews, and it is easy to manage and update. All right. But again, huh? You can't even get in yet? We'll help you. But again, it is easy to set up and manage and update, but there are a lot of, if you want to do all the analytics and other things, again, you just want to have a plan to keep up with it. All right.
Is there I noticed that when you look at a Google business page, Emily, you might know that some people have a lot more stuff in it.
Right.
So is it just one of those things where you just continually get options and then you can decide if you want to click into that?
Yes.
Reviews and all the other stuff that you do?
It depends on how much you set up
Yeah.
to begin with. Some people choose to go the more basic route, some people choose to go more in depth. So you can set it up that way.
Mhm.
And then as more people, click on it, you get that SEO.
Build
that
it up.
It builds up on its own too.
Okay.
Right. But it's just it's really just like any other online platform, in this case, like LinkedIn. Some people maybe put their picture on there and a little bit of their resume, and they never do anything on there. They never post on there. They never put anything additional on there. On social media accounts, some people we know just slap up a profile picture, kind of like your real estate business card. It's from 17 years ago and they never go in and update their picture. So same concept. It's, and that's why I was saying you might want to have a plan to, how are you going to engage on there? Are you going to add, pictures of new listings on a regular basis or something like that to keep.
Question.
Yeah.
You talked about testimonials.
Mhm.
If I receive one via an email, let's say, am I allowed to put that on myself, or does the consumer has to?
I think the testimonials, they have to be from the consumer unless you're, again, using like a third party, something that sends your testimonials there. So,
it's not like Yelp though. Let's say someone wrote a negative comment, I can go in and put it out.
Yes,
Because Yelp won't
let you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can manage your reviews on here.
Okay.
If there's a process, I don't think you can just go in and say delete this immediately or whatever, but you can turn them on and off and that sort of thing. All right. So those were just a couple slides that I had for you. I'm going to go ahead and stop screen sharing there and give me just one moment to hop over to Google. I have like a million pages open, so I apologize. Give me 1 second.
And we'll get a copy, right, Katie, of everything?
Yes, yes. And I will also send, like I said, actually, you know, Google is known for it too. There is a ton of information just on Google that you can, you know, like the FAQs, like the question Lynn just asked, or, you know, they even have like some resources, like a small business resource where you can actually go on there and like talk to somebody if you have questions about it. So I'll run through some of those things here. Let me share my screen again. Okay. All right. So as you can see here, this is the page that I was telling you to go to. So up at the top, it'll say, you know, google.com/business. Obviously, if you have a Google account, you know, you can just go in, sign in up here. Sorry, let me move this little thing out of the way. So you could go up here to the top and click sign in. All right. Otherwise, you can start here clicking manage now as well. So we pop over and it's going to ask you what's your business name, right? So just for we're just going to go with that for. So then this again, if you put in Remax Gold, like this business comes up, but it is already set up. You know, Lynn has that managed as the location here. So that's why I was saying, I don't know how you're going to want to name your business, but it doesn't necessarily, everybody doesn't have to have the same thing, but just know if you do, if I put, let me show you what I'm talking about here. So if I were to put in Remax Gold, all right, and here's this location. So see, somebody here has Remax Gold, K Roberts team. Carol has hers, her name, comma, Remax Gold, the different choices there. But if I were to try to say that this is my business and hit continue, it says someone else manages this profile. I either have to request access, whatever. But you can see there, Lynn has the page set up. It has the Remax balloon in the office, 4 stars. Whoop, whoop. And then the location information. And obviously here, this is where, like we were talking about, it'll give you an opportunity to set up an overview, reviews, photos, about info. So you'll have like a place to set up each of those.
So what do you suggest we put in there? Remax Gold and then your name, or how do you put
Right.
in so-and-so team?
So that's what I was saying. I mean, I don't really have a recommendation. I haven't done a lot of research. I have no idea, you know, if Google somewhere, maybe we could look it up and say, you know,
Is that the way
Google
Carol
have a
set it?
recommendation?
Does Carol have it set up as her name?
She had Remax Gold.
She had her name, comma, Remax Gold. Let me, here, I'll hit continue.
Would you
Oh,
type
wait.
that all in right there?
Yes. So this is where you would put all of that.
Maybe
So,
that's the way to do it, so you don't have to request access.
right, right.
You
Because
can change it later. Your name or Remax Gold both would pop up.
That makes sense.
Right.
Okay. With the comment.
Yeah, so here's just the few examples that popped up. So Carol, oh, Rob, you're already in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so
Rob,
you're-
comma, Remax Gold.
Yeah.
Rebecca Fox, comma, Remax. So it looks like most people do their name, comma, and maybe that, if you've never set it up, maybe just by default, you know, it has your info in Google and that's how it comes up. But not,
If you're
what?
a home snap pro, it might.
Yeah, I don't know where it would feed from necessarily, like if
don't
it's
know.
just a general Google information search.
I think I did. I think I've done that snap.
Yeah.
Before.
I believe, Sarah, yeah, I believe that you can go in and change it at any time.
I know, I have my name. and
Yeah,
yours
there's
new.
actually, let's see. So, let me see if it'll let me pop around on here. So just to show you,
Another person.
okay, I'll come back to this page in a second, but so here's where we started. These are the Google Business Profile Help Community. So there's FAQs. Here's like a known issue it looks like they had with what Lynn was saying earlier. Sometimes there's like review scams or something like that. So they have all kinds of resources, but the question that Sarah just asked, I saw that earlier somewhere. Let me just run through and see if I can find
What
it
was Sarah's
quickly.
question? I didn't hear it.
If we could change our business name later. And I did see that topic. But again, here I'm just showing, I have like so many pages opened. As you can see, yes, you could have more than one.
Leave it that way, Sarah.
Well, I have reviews and
Yeah, you might wanna get that out.
everything.
Let's see here. Verify.
Maybe you could just Google like how to change your business name on.
Right. No, you can do that. You can just look in the help, but I actually had it pulled up on one of these. I know that I already had it, so I was just trying to see if I could find it that way.
Yeah.
I have a million tabs.
Get into it.
Here's what I was talking to you earlier. So this is the small business advisors. So you can book an appointment. It's $39.99. But again, you know, if you don't want to have a third party manage it, you just want to maybe like have a one time, let's, you know, get it set up. You can do that. All right. I do have a million tabs, as you guys were saying. But Sarah, yes, I did see that earlier, that if you wanted to change your business name, you can. And so you could just look up in the FAQs or the help and find that. Here, maybe it was on this one. Eligible. Yeah. I'll look it up while Emily's talking and we can talk about it again later. All right, so let me jump back in here for a second. So I was just going to kind of do a quick little ABC business. I'm not going to actually make this live or tied to my Google account. So we put our business in, we hit continue. Required field must be blank. You can't? Oh, because it's asking for, okay, let's see here. Here, we'll go to this. Were you putting in your, there we go. So I just put my name. Just put your name, comma, and then you should be able to put like your name, comma, realtor or Remax Gold. And then it should pop up that Remax Gold address. All right. So again, I'm going to keep moving here. Oh, 2 more people. Woo! But then at the end, after Emily talks, like I said, we're going to stick around so that we can kind of go through more step by step and help you get going. Because oh, hi. You might want to mute. So
Mute that, Albert.
unless you just want to hear me say everything twice, I don't know.
No.
Get a little echo.
Did you?
I'm just signing out. I don't know why that. Sorry.
There you go. Maybe now. Okay. So then it says choose your business type. All right. So you can have a specific location. Again, you could say service business. If you're not going to tie it to the specific address, then it will ask you to put in a service area. There's some guidelines and rules about all that. So you'll have to decide how you want to do that. It says select all that apply. So you could have all 3.
Did you think it'd be better to be broader?
Yeah, if you wanted to put all 3.
Yeah. St. Louis County or
Right. So, but yeah, when you set up your service area, then, you know, I would say the service area part means that your business makes visits to customers, and then you are going to have to be kind of specific. I don't know, like, you know, if you stop at Pacific and somebody from the next town out tries to look you up, and then it wouldn't say that you cover their service area. So that's kind of up to you. That does have guidelines and some information in the help section on that too. Yeah, you could do the whole state.
You can always refer it.
All right, so I went ahead and hit next, and then it's just gonna walk you through the different steps. So add your website in. You put your website address. So this part, like I said, it is pretty simple getting this set up. Enter a business category, real estate, etc. So
Katie, does it have where you can put all your links in for like Instagram and Facebook and all that or not?
it does let you link things to it. I don't know how many you can put on there, but
Yeah,
it
you
just,
put your URL stuff in,
Yeah.
those will pop up.
Yeah. I don't know if there's a limit to like how many you can have, but it will have all those little
Yeah.
links there. All right, then you can put in your address.
That would
He's-
be very cool.
He probably already has it on there. All right, and my phone number. All right, and then get your business on the map. So I'm actually, let's see. I'll hit continue one more time. All right, so this is telling me this is where it says I'm being verified by Google. I'll be able to manage it with my Kate's82275 Gmail. Only authorized accounts will be able to make edits. This is why earlier when I tried to put in this business, it said no, this is managed by Lynn, etc. So I'll hit next. And then here is where we can customize our profile further. Now, I did read one of the bullet points on there did say, like, I know a lot of times we think we should put as many of these things on there, and Google actually recommends that you put a minimum amount of these on there. And it didn't really give too much information as to why. Again, while Emily's talking, I'll see if I can look that back up quickly. But it did say less is more in this case.
That's
So
almost
to,
like hashtag.
yeah. All right. Add your business hours. You guys are all open 24/7, right? I felt bad. So I'm a night owl, and the other night I did send, it was business related, but there was something that I kept meaning to do. And so somebody had sent shared something via Google to my work address. And so I had to go through my personal account to actually access it. Well, and then if you go through your personal account, but they had it set up with your USA Mortgage, then it says you have to request access again because it technically doesn't recognize the email address. So I was like doing this at like 1:30 in the morning, and I hit request access, and then I was like, oh, they're gonna get that email and be like, why is she emailing me at 1:30 in the morning? But the person was like, didn't answer till Monday. I was like, please no, I had no expectation of getting a response. It was just, I was working on it. It was on my mind. I did it. And then I was like, oh no, I just emailed somebody at 1:30 in the morning. So I do work 24/7 in my brain for sure also. All right. You can let customers message your business on Google for free. Oops. Okay. I meant to hit skip, but either way, I don't think I turned that on. Add your business description. So again, this is on, and it'll show you like, over here, where things will show up. I'm going to skip that. Add photos for your business. So who was asking about this earlier? Again, I don't know that it tells us, learn more.
Adding photos are important, right? Maybe that's
Yes.
Something that.
Right. And Emily's going to talk about that too, but
Especially if you switch.
to get
Put 'em off
engaged.
the airplane, and then we can-
I just want to put whatever I'm eating that day. on there because I'm
Yeah, every day.
stimulated.
We'll see, but then
I'm so stimulated.
you have to have an update to
And the
correct.
shit people are
Do
eating.
that every day. So here's just it says you can add your logo, cover photo, business photo. I was just trying to see if it said if there was a limit to how many photos you could add, but so you can add your logo and other photos there.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It seemed like a lot. There's some people that have a lot on
Right.
their Google business
Right.
page,
And some people have none, like it's literally like the
Right.
map
Yeah.
photo like that they
But
took
the
aerial
reason
or
I brought that up,
drive by.
I was wondering, does that affect like how you are seen in Google if you put more in it?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can be seen in a bunch of different places that Google is connected to, so yes, and especially if you tie it back to this, you put this on Facebook, put it on
Mhm.
Instagram, it all eventually comes together, this
Mhm.
one.
So the more you put in and the pictures and whatever is better for your Google business page.
Absolutely.
Got it.
All right, so I skipped that. I'm gonna skip this. I don't want my 500 in free advertising credit. Oops, don't do that. You can look into that. I'm not a Google salesperson. I don't want you to spend your money. That's not my jam. So again, here's some more things they're trying to sell us. I'm saying skip that. Your edits will be visible once you're verified. So again, here's where it's telling me that I have to verify in order for everything to show up. Yeah. Right. So here's exactly what we were talking about earlier. Like I didn't add any photos, so it's like the map and nothing, but you know, then you'll kind of see here. Oh, I love this. So does anybody watch the show American Housewife? Because her name on there is Katie Addo. If you ever watch it, she's a comedian. She was also on what was that, Molly and Mike and Molly? Yeah, she was on there too. I think she was the sister. She's hilarious. And her parenting skills, like if you watch it, I was like, oh my gosh, she's me. Like seriously, they wrote a show about me and didn't contact me. Yeah. So yeah, if you Google me, you'll get the Katie Addo from American Housewife. Check it out sometime. It is a funny show. All right. So that I hopefully, like I said, we'll stick around for a few minutes and, you know, help walk through stuff. But I just kind of wanted to walk through that to show you it is very easy to set it up. All right. But again, it would just be going from here. How are you going to manage it? Right. And keep your content fresh, exciting, your reviews, all of that stuff. And I'm going to turn it. Oh, I'm going to stop screen sharing. I'm going to let Emily go over. Again, she's going to kind of talk more broadly about your digital presence in general, but also specifically a little bit about the Google business page. And then we'll circle back around and we'll help walk through setting up further. Okay.
Let me get my glasses. It'll help my comprehension.
So, like you said, I'm just gonna do,
I did the same thing.
kind of the broad picture. So I know I've met a few of you guys, a few people on Zoom. I'm not sure who all's there, but I work at our corporate headquarters in marketing. I'm our strategic communication and branding team lead. I regret my
Put
boss
that
for
on a business.
giving me that title, so I butcher it the whole time. It's easier to read than to say. So my main goal is researching what works on Google, what works on Instagram, all the social media platforms. I research visual trends, what kind of words you should use in your bios, just everything to make it stick on social media. That's the essence of what I do, and I help people build their brands. So not only the visuals, graphics, the how you present yourself on Google, but also the verbiage you guys should be using or recommended to use to help you better your business in person and on social media. So this is my broad overview. This is the presentation I give when people are learning how to make brands from scratch. We're going to kind of bounce around since this is solely focused on Google My Business. I don't want you guys to think I'm like bringing all the good stuff in here, but we want to make sure it's relevant to what Katie just covered. We all know social media is important. So the main idea of creating a brand, because a lot of people just kind of see their hands on social media, they don't take time to consider why you should be developing a brand and how it affects what you do moving forward and how it affects the people you come in contact with. So brand, it establishes your business and the mission statements you're putting out there. It informs your customers in the most effective way. And I think Google My Business or Google Business Profile, they're interchangeable. They just changed the name of it. This is especially true, like we were talking about with the photos. You can change the photos every day. And that is a great way to make a stance and to show people you're up to date, you're current, you're relevant, and it's an easy way to inform customers on what's going on. Google is the easiest way. Social media is the easiest way to get in contact with customers and help boost sales. You saw that you have advertising credit with Google. We have tons of MLOs at our company who go through that third party, who work with our department. There's a few different things in the pot, but we do a lot of Google advertising and we help create the graphics for it. We help with how much money should go behind it. Again, all with the help of that third party company that does day in and day out with Google. But people produce on Facebook, they produce on LinkedIn. There's nothing stopping you from producing on Google as well. It's just like any other social media site. It just looks a little different. And obviously connect and engage with potential customers. If they are searching you on Google, they have a reason to be searching. They need a realtor, they need someone on their site. These solutions, like house money. So if they are focusing on Google and searching in their area, they're trying to connect with you for a reason. It's a great way to find clients and work with the customers who are wanting to work with you, if that makes sense. Instead of just Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn, you kind of put it out to the masses, but know you're relevant and to know that you're there and present. If they're Googling you, they're already ready to commit to something or something. Developing that personal brand that we're going over. So this is just how you create a clear message and how it aligns with who you are and what you're trying to do and represent. A brand voice is the graphics you use, the verbiage you use on the graphics, the way you communicate on Google, the way you respond to those Google testimonials and reviews, and just how you communicate with people on all of your platforms. It should be uniform no matter how you're using it, whether it is just a response, whether it's a blog post or a video that you're using. However you're coming across on social media it should resonate trust, and it should inform people before they even commit to you. They should know what you're about and what you stand for. So creating a brand voice, we're starting with the mission, that's who and what you do. Look at best performing content. If you are big on Facebook and Instagram, on every other social media platform, we can apply those to Google. Our team can help create graphics that fit specifically for Google and that kind of advertising. So take your best stuff on all other social media platforms and put it on Google. Make a do and don'ts list. We'll go through that of what those voice characteristics look like, and use a buyer persona, specifically the ones coming through on Google. So we'll go through this. I love that. This is the buyer persona. So obviously you don't have to go as in depth with all of this. You can choose just a few where they're at, professional, goals and challenges. I would say Google allows you to get more niche with this. Again, if they're Googling you, if they're Googling Remax Gold, Realtor, I need help, they are already at one of the final steps of their search. They are ready to commit. They are ready to take things a step further and get a little bit more serious about where they're at in their personal lives. So maybe you just stick with the personal info and how they communicate and talk to them in a way that fits that Google scene. So these can change based on what social media platform you're working on. Google, I would say, the negative info, who you don't want to work with and who you won't be taking those reviews from, or who you won't be following up with on Google. And these are just a few ways to help you, attract the right customers, make sure the right customers are coming to you, and just navigating the kind of audience you want to target, and that audience turns into the potential customers you want to be working with. So that's the buyer persona. And once that's figured out, kind of decide what sort of voice characteristics you want to have coming through Google. These are 3 different examples. You can choose whatever sort of characteristic you want to identify your brand with. So I chose authentic, humorous, and helpful. With Google, especially, I would say helpful is the one to focus most on. On the left bullet points, those are the do's. On the right, those are the don'ts. So make sure you link out those relevant posts. Make sure you're linking everything you can to that Google My Business profile. You want to have tactical advice included. And by being on Google, you're already acknowledging your consumers' roadblocks. You're already presenting yourself in a helpful way of, I am here, I am in your area, here's why I'm an expertise. During the home buying process, why you should trust me. And then the don'ts. This comes after you're already talking to them. So this doesn't apply as much for the Google environment. You're not gonna be making jokes, you're not gonna be putting out graphics or memes, you're not gonna be people. So the don'ts just, those come when a conversation is already. Don't push anything that you can't offer, can't help these people with, and don't ignore what they're going through and struggling with.
Emily, do you have some type of favorite headline analyzer that you use?
I don't, but I can research that and see what's out there. That would be a great tool. I like that. So we're gonna go ahead and skip all this since we are just talking about Google, but I can send all this to you guys if you want to do independent research. So Katie went over this a little bit. Google is there to control your business online. It's a main hub. People are not going to websites anymore as much as you would like them to. They're not picking up the phone. They're not emailing you right away. They're Googling your name. They're Googling real estate in Wildwood, in West County. And that's where you want to make sure you're at and you're present. They build trust through those reviews. This day and age, user-generated content is trending, and it has been since late 2021. We saw that through the pandemic. People are trusting people more. They're not trusting the blank reviews or how you're even promoting yourself. People are trusting their family, their friends, the reviews that show another person used this realtor. They said it was a great experience. I'm going to trust them over how this realtor is trying to sell me on their own. So all that trust is coming through those Google reviews. I know we use experience.com for our Lowe's reviews. And I know those two sites can connect. So if you guys have a review site or if it's on your website, making sure you're linking all the different ways you're doing reviews and filtering it into that website. That's a great way to just kind of build up the EMO.
Experience.com.
Yeah. Yep. And it's a wonderful platform. It used to be Social Survey. You guys have heard of that. But make sure you're filtering that in, keeping an eye on those reviews, responding to them, paying attention to the negative ones if they're unfair, reviewing them on your own, taking them down, however that process looks on the back end. And then it just helps you get discovered. People are constantly searching, constantly saving searches. So just making sure you're out there and present with a few cute photos and your location and how to get in contact with you. That is the best way to get discovered. And then this is we have two more sections that I want to cover as far as how it all works in Google. So creating that engaging content. So we're going to focus on graphics for this one because videos just don't work. On Google My Business Profile, we saw that you can add photos during the setup and then you can switch them out however you want. You can use graphics if you want. You can do branding sessions. You can use authentic photos like this. If someone were just to take a picture of this room right now, you can use it. So graphics and photos are where you're going to want to focus on as far as Google goes. They're static. They are informative. They're educational. They can be whatever you want them to be. If you want to show, your more authentic side at a team volleyball game or a meeting with a client, have someone snap a picture of you at the closing or at the open house. You can choose to go any different way.
Hey, can you guys hear me okay? I think I lost I lost hearing. I can't hear anybody. Not I lost hearing, but I can't hear anybody on your guys' side.
I turn this down. TV down.
Can you hear me?
All right. I can hear you guys.
Okay, now it's echoing. Testing. Nope.
On here, so maybe they were hearing through mine.
Testing. Okay. We'll go with that.
How do you feel about storytelling on?
Love it. Love it. Love it. I don't know how well it would work on Google. I think that's better on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram because you just don't have the capacity on Google to do it.
Storytelling, like tell a story about like how you helped a customer, or like a lot of people feel that's a great way to act.
And it 100% is. And I think that's where your responses to the reviews come in. If they say it was great working with Sarah, she helped me as a first-time homebuyer, that's where you come in and reply and describe how you did it very subtly. We want to stay humble. But if you use a very authentic and longer form response, that's where that storytelling aspect can come in. Instead of saying, thank you, it was great working with you, take that opportunity to realize other people are going to be viewing the review and they're going to be viewing how you as the expertise or expert, replied. So you can use that as a storytelling feature in Google.
And I just, when I was looking up stuff that people had asked while we were waiting, it does say that responding to customer reviews is the best way to engage and interact with customers on here. But then I just found some stats. It says, post photos that show off what you do. Businesses that add photos to their business profiles receive 42% more requests for directions and 35% more clicks through to their websites that businesses that don't. So be sure to upload those photos.
Yep. And I was kind of laughing to myself earlier when you guys said to switch out a picture of you all the time. Is that an inside joke?
Well,
Kind of
Raj is extremely interesting.
I love that. I love that for you. We have an LO who changes his voicemail every single day, and I've firsthand witnessed it as I can't reach him on the phone. But that could be a funny thing that you do if that's your thing, changing out the picture every day, and some people would catch on, some people would notice, and it would, the back end, the algorithm would realize you're on there all the time, you're going through the work of switching it out, and it would help boost it on the back end. But I do think there's, joke or not, that could be a good way to strategize on Google.
Who changes it every day?
Whoever runs it. So
No, the LO.
he's a Wade guy, Jack Amberg,
Okay.
every day. He looks up like today's National Cheeseburger Day. So he'll say, hey, you reached Jack Amberg, I can't make it to the phone. Happy National Cheeseburger Day. What's your favorite topping? Mine's tomato. It's every day.
Yeah, and Doug Shukard said
Yeah.
that he did that too when he was selling, like he'd have an updated voicemail every day.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I never thought of doing that. That's so cool.
So my screen has just kind of stopped working. Oh, no, there we go. Okay, so building a following, we're going to go ahead and skip this section because it's different on Google. You don't have followers on your Google page. This is great for every other platform if you ever want to know about it. We're going to go through this. Measuring your success is the last one. This is more so not looking at the clicks, who visited it, but kind of what Katie said of paying attention to the reviews, making sure you're paying attention, responding, updating, making sure that address, if you moved or if you changed your phone number, is always up to date. So take this measuring with success very loosely. We're not looking at how many people viewed your picture on Google because you can't. There's different back end analytics on Google. I would just use this as more my page is up to date. People have the most current information of me. So I know when they come to my business profile, they're getting the right picture of who I am and where I'm at and what I'm doing.
And Emily, while you're
Yeah.
talking about that, I think one of the things, and we've talked about this last time you were here on Instagram, making it a business,
Yeah.
because it's easy just to click it. The real reason why you want to do that is it gives you a much more enhanced dashboard,
Yeah.
so you can see what's working or this particular post really went off, or this one couldn't get anything, and it gives you a gender breakdown. It gives you all kinds of different things that even if I look at it as Instagram gives you that information that you can use anywhere else.
Yeah.
Because it gives you more than a lot of the other platforms.
Absolutely. And that's where, going back to the first few slides, taking your best performing content and running with it and realizing, okay, more women are looking at it, maybe I should make it a little bit more feminine, or more men are looking at it, maybe make it a little bit more masculine. So exactly to that point, using it as leverage to better talk to your audience. Absolutely. All right. So that kind of wraps up this and how to kind of best perform on Google. Like Katie said, we'll hang around if you guys wanted help setting it up, if you had any additional questions. I'll send you this whole PowerPoint too if you wanted to go through all of it. Just it's general social media and brand development. But didn't want to take away from the Google aspect today.
And I'm going to thank you, Emily. That was she's awesome. She's a genius. Okay, I was gonna pop back on here one more time to show you. So here again, I'm not verifying. I'm gonna delete this. I don't actually want to set up a business page with my name.
I would search for you.
Well, thank you. So here is just a little snippet of, when we talk about managing it. So first of all, here for performance. So what some things we were just saying is, like website clicks. There are some basic analytics in Google. Obviously, there's potential for you to do more with it. But just showing you here, this is kind of like managing your business on Google. These three little dots here is where I can go in and, update certain things, edit my profile. We were talking about this earlier. Here's where I could change my business name. So going back to Sarah's question earlier, it is easy to go in and just change your business name if you wanted to tweak that. I did look up the reviews. You do have to click and ask Google to remove it. Like you can't just delete your own review. I do know that you can turn them on and off before, only because I have followed through other social media sites. Sometimes when businesses do something horrible and people are trying to give them bad reviews, they turn off their reviews. You can turn them on and off at any time, but you can, if there's a spam or sometimes scam or just something that is wrong, you can request that it be removed. Google does that for you. You can add photos, read reviews. Okay, so here's where I was talking about earlier, read reviews. Obviously, I don't have any. You just saw me set up this little fake profile, but there is a blue button there that says get more reviews. And it does give you a link that you could share with people via email, Facebook, copy and paste it. So if you set up a Google business account, one of the first things I would do is if you have your CRM or a list of clients that you hopefully nobody would give you a bad review. But you could send that out to them and say, I just set up my Google business page. I would love for you to share.
I think Brian Sohn, that's what he does, is uses Google Business, but
Instead of
that's a really good idea, Katie.
Right.
You could just go back and say, hey, I just set up all this. I wanted to
Right.
send this out to you.
Right.
Closing day.
Mhm.
Send them a link.
So, and then they even have, again, Google is so amazing as far as information and resources go, right? It's Google. Okay, so you can see right there, it says learn more about best practices for asking for reviews and what to do about negative reviews. So exactly kind of what Lynn was talking about, what we were talking about. Then it has information right here for you on how to manage that. So
Absolutely. That is-
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing again. Those were just a few questions that had come up. I wanted to make sure that everybody. You're
There's
welcome.
no like time frame. So in other words, let's say I had a closing 6 months ago and I didn't ask for that.
Right.
I could still email that link and say, hey, could you do me a huge favor? Just fill this out. Do you have the ability to say, I only want 5 questions, or do you get to select the questions you want?
I don't.
I think on Google, it's pretty open-ended.
Yeah.
Give us your experience.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like rate it and then they can put
don't
comments.
mind
I don't think it's like.
somebody, but when I get to like question 10, I'm done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the questions are optional. Yeah, you don't have to,
Okay.
do the questions. But yeah, that's what I was saying earlier too, is if this would be a great like if you had the CRM or whatever, this would be a great touch for your clients to say, you know, I just set up a Google business page. This year I'm focusing on, you know, creating my digital presence. I would love if you leave me a review. Even more than 6 months ago. These might be people that you've had a relationship with for years, but you know, now you're kind of have a reason to reach out to them. I set up my Google business page. I'm working on my digital presence and
It'd be a good email campaign for around the holidays.
Oh,
Like I'd be so thankful if you left me a review. Hope you have a good
oh, I like
turkey
that.
day, or the best present you can give is a good review on Google. It'd be a good, I mean, we're months from that, but that could be a good.
what's the spring one, Emily? Come on, put you on the spot.
Hey, Katie, I have a question for you.
Reviews,
Right, but yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
For the most part, people are happy.
Hey,
Right.
guys.
And that's the time to capture that.
Yeah.
those few kind of-
Absolutely, like going forward.
Hey, guys, can you guys hear me?
Can we-
Katie?
Can you hear?
Can you hear me, Katie?
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you. Hey, question in regards from a global standing, how do we get there's agents that are no longer in our operation. This was from years ago, but they show up sometimes. And I want to say it happened, I want to say in Washington, maybe, I'm not sure. But how do we take control back for Remax Gold to have that Google page, right? Does that make sense? Because you know how we noticed earlier there was other agents that had Remax Gold, which I'm totally fine with. But how do we also come up on Google?
Right, so sorry, now I think on that one, you'd have to look in there. I'm sure that you'd probably have to go through Google and ask them to facilitate that and to get it removed. I don't think that, you know, but it's Jose, it's so funny. Oh, he might be talking again. It's so funny to me though, how rampant that is in this industry. You know, I even at Maris, I used to see people would switch companies and they'd still have their old email address, like in Maris, where yeah, and so they don't update things anywhere. But unfortunately with Google, you'd have to ask Google to remove it. I'm sure there's a process that you can say, you know, Lynn would probably do it. She's the admin or access on the Google business page too, but she could send something and say, this person is no longer with our company. Can I have this removed? So.
Yeah, good question.
I'll do that, Katie. Thank you. I am hearing, but I do have somebody on the other call. So thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right. Are we on information overload?
Oh, no, I just, does anybody else have? Because I think we've been talking about this, it comes up a lot, and it sometimes seems overwhelming to do something new, but there's so many different things that you can do once you set this up. And, you know, like Emily said, you can also make it better as time goes.
Exactly.
Figure out, you know, what's working and what's not working. The thing of it is, there's so many different pieces out in the world now. I mean, I was recently, and you know, one of the things on YouTube now is it has a feed. And you know, it used to be that, you know, YouTube's like Google, you search. That's why YouTube's so incredible if you've got subscribers. You've got a whole bunch of subscribers that's being searching. Now they have a feed and it's shorts. And you can put something on YouTube and get a whole bunch of views because you have a thing where you load it in shorts. So each one of these, what I think is happening is, especially on the video side, TikTok has changed the whole world because Instagram now is into Reels. And if you put something, if you're going to post on Instagram, definitely put it on Reels because they're wanting to promote Reels. They're not promoting posts. Your post will get lost in the bottom of the barrel. Anything, even if it's a picture, put it on Reels. But one of the things you want to do, especially what made me think of this with like Google Business Page, do what they're doing or they want you to do, because they'll help promote your stuff. If you fall into what they're trying to build with, and you know, like I think one of the smart things would be to do is go to a Google Business Page that you admire how they've set it up and create something like that. You know, there's a lot of that in, you know, looking at
different platforms, find somebody that you like and then kind of model yourself after that so that you kind of get the same vibe and flair that they've got. Might be in a whole different, it might be in Canada, who cares? It works. Anybody else have any questions while we're all together? I want to thank you guys for coming and doing this because I know this is taking time out of your all's time and but it's a big help. And I mean it's one of those things where it's great to have somebody that can just kind of walk you through something that and even if you got a Google business page, now you can probably go back to it and add to it. So
Yeah, that's great. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Came in for so much do your fruit shopping. Yeah.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Really do, guys.
Thanks for having
Thank
us
you for
out.
having us.
Appreciate it.
I don't